What's good, YouTube? It's Trey, and I'm back for another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some of men's biggest insecurities and one of the things that haunt us for our lives. And some men is really traumatic for when it starts happening to them. And I'm talking about going bald. And for me, it wasn't that bad, and I'll get into all of that. But at the end of this video, I'm going to talk to you guys, and I'm going to show you guys, it's actually going to be a voiceover. I'm going to show you guys the process that I go through to shave my head when it's time for me to shave my head, because I don't do it every day, and I feel like it's unnecessary, for me to do it every day. And I have built up a really cool collection of hats since I don't like shaving my head every day. But I remember I first noticed I was going bald in the probably 9th grade. And I remember one year I was on vacation with my family in the summertime. We went to Virginia Beach. And I remember swimming in the pool. I actually wasn't on the beach. I remember swimming in the pool a lot. And I went back to shower because, you're not supposed to leave the chlorine on you. And I went back, got in the shower. I was washing my hair. I remember I got out of the shower. And, hotels, they have the white towels. I got out of the shower, started drying my hair off. And I looked in the towel, and there was a bunch of hair. And I remember holy shit. I remember I telling my dad, I was like, Dad, I was seeing a bunch of hair in my towel. He's just shrugged it off. He's like, boy, you all right. So I'm like, hey, I need to go to the doctors and find out what's going on. So I remember over time, I would just remember random times, so my head would be really, really itchy. And I didn't look into it later, what that was. And that's just one of the signs of hair loss. Your head is going to be really itchy. So I remember saving up some money and trying to go buy some Rogaine. I literally bought some Rogaine.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through.
To try to save it. And fast forward, and over time, your hairline starts to recede, and it starts to grow a little bit thinner. It starts to grow a little slower. And after a while, I just got tired of it, and I became really insecure about it. So I was doing everything to mask it and try to hide it. And that's the most insecure part, is that people realize that you're trying to hide it, that you're going bald, and that when you start to have to cover it so much, and you're doing it all the time, and it becomes noticeable, that's probably when it's time to let it go. And I'm not here to tell anybody when to let their hair go or when to shave their head, but for me, it just got too much for me when I was just okay, people notice that I'm going bald. People are probably saying why doesn't he just cut it? So for me, my process was just, I took it down a little bit, and then I started cutting it lower and lower to the point where I was basically bald.
Brother, I skipped you. And you know what? Why don't you just let me fade you up? How about a nice Quo Vadis now?
And once I was really comfortable, I was just I'm just shave it off. And once I shaved it off, it made me feel a lot more confident because I didn't feel like I was trying to hide anything. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't have the head for it. Honestly, I didn't feel like I had the head for it either. I was really uncomfortable because I have this point at the top of my head, and I really didn't like it.
Who you call Pinhead?
But after a while, you just get used to it, and it's I have my confidence back when my head is shaved. Now I hate having hair on my head. It's really uncomfortable because it grows in awkwardly. When I'm trying to sleep on the pillow, I can feel the hair on my scalp. It's kind of annoying. And I like the way the body feel good, And I always tell people look, when you bald, you enter a different level of man. You know what I'm saying? It's an elite group of men that's bald, and if you bald, you know what I'm talking about. It's a thing. It's a thing.
That's what it's all about. Guns and butter, baby. You little dumb motherfuckers.
And honestly, it feel once you start going bald, and I can't speak for all guys, but once you start going bald, you get a little bit of facial hair. And I feel bad for the guys that can't get facial hair, but hey, some of us can, some of us can't. I'm going to show you guys a video of what I go through when I shave my head, the products that I use, the razors that I use. And I'm not going to say that these are the holy grails. These are the ones that you need to be using. But I know for black men such as myself, these are something that this razor that I'm going to show in the video is actually a voiced over video of me shaving my head. I highly recommend for African American men to use. It's by Gillette. It's called Skin Guard. You'll see it in the video. I highly recommend using this razor. I'll talk to you guys step through step about what I do. It probably takes me like 10 minutes to shave my head, but I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Head over to this. I'm going to play this voiceover now. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, put it in the description. I'll answer it. I always answer all my my comment. So jumping right into it, I'm using my Wall Magic clip. These are professional clippers. You don't need professional clippers, but I would recommend getting some cordless ones because they're usually lighter and it's a lot easier to go around the head. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the hair down, like the longer length of hair down, so that when I do use the razor, it's a lot easier and it's not as hard. Now, the Skin Guard razors are completely capable of shaving the length of hair that's on my head without any snag or double stroking or whatever. Those razors are amazing. But I do this for my comfort so that it goes a little bit faster and it's not as long of a process. This just helps. Now, I don't need another mirror. I've been doing this long enough to know my head, and I usually use my other hand to feel, but I didn't use my other hand because I wasn't sure if it was going to be in the way, so I just went with the flow. And make sure you go against the grain so that you're getting it as low as you can, and get behind your ear. It's very important. Now, after I do this, I usually wet my head and get all the longer hair off. You see, face is a little wet because I just washed my head off. Now, what I do here is I use a hot towel. What that's going to do is going to soften the hair up. The little bit of hair that's there is going to soften the hair and the skin up so that when you do use the razor, it's cutting the hair like butter, and the shaving cream is going to cut through the hair like butter. You ain't gonna have any problem. Now, a lot of black guys, they don't like using razors to shave their head. Now, I like this razor. I was for a while because I couldn't find a good razor that I could use that would get me bumps. So this is the shaving cream I use. Shout out to my best friend. He had it at his house one day when I was down in DC when he lived there, and I used it and haven't stopped using it. But I usually apply the hot towel twice, and then gets my head nice and warm. I wet it again, then I get the shaving cream, just use like a dollop, like that much. It lathers up really thick, so you don't need a lot. You'll see once I rub it in my hands, it lathers up really thick, so it's no need to like overdo it with the shaving cream. And you don't need to like get it in like really tight or in your head. You just put it on and go. Get it all around my head. And these are the razors that I use. These are the Gillette razors. This is the big pack. I think it's like $26, so I get mine from Target. Comes with 2 packs, 2 lines of razors. This is what comes inside the pack. 4 blades. You could probably, depending on your texture hair, how much hair you use, you could probably get like 3 shaves out of it before you need to change it. So this is the razor. It has a little button on the back so that you can pop the razor off and exchange the blades. And it also has a razor in the back. So that's the button. You just push it, pop. The razor goes off. You just push it in, pull another one out. So I usually dab my head with water again just to give it a little bit more slick surface, and then I just start and glide. There ain't no specific way. I like to start at the top middle of my head and just go with the grain first. So I go with the grain first, and then I basically go like sideways, if that makes sense. You'll see. Now I probably have to shave my head like every, let me see, probably like every 2 days, because of course you get like the 5 o'clock shadow, but it'll really start to grow back within that second day. Now I don't, with using these razors and this shaving cream, for me personally, I don't get any like bumps or razor burn, and I shave pretty aggressively. As you'll see, I shave pretty aggressively, and I don't really get any shaves or burns. I rarely get nicks unless I have a bump. I actually did nick myself in this video from a bump, but I don't get any like any problems. I haven't had any problems with these razors, and I've been going through razors for the longest. Make sure you get behind the ear. I hate seeing bald guys have that hair behind their ear. It's so annoying. But you're going to see me switch the way that I'm shaving now. I'm going to go like more from the top. I'm going to be going down the sides. So this is the way I'm doing it now. And that's basically my equivalent of going against the grain. I rarely go like back against the grain unless I'm really trying to get like a close shave for an event, or I'm going out and doing something. But this gives me just as close as doing against the grain. It just feels a little bit safer, because, you know, as a black guy, you'd be like scared to go against the grain, but you can 100% do it with this razor, and I promise you, you won't get bumps. I don't know what Gillette did, but they did a really good job with the design of these razors. Now, what I'm doing now, that's like one of the areas that you want to pay attention to. The crown of the head is like one of the hard. I always miss hair back there, so you want to make sure that you go over that a few times. And I always go behind my ears at the top, and I don't need to, like with the shaving cream, it stays really slick. You don't need to reapply it. Like my head is still really slick as long as you keep water on it. The only time that the slickness goes away is when you use a washcloth. If you got a neck tattoo, make sure you shave that tattoo. So it has a back blade, and I use that to line up the top of my beard, just by the ear. That's it. Now I'm going to clean my head off with the towel. Cold. Make sure you use cold water. I do it twice. Make sure you use cold water. Close those pores up. Don't wash your whole face. Why not? Check it out. Make sure you don't have any problems. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Spin around just for y'all. I don't do that. I don't do that normally. I use African shea butter, organic, and I use this to as my aftershave. It makes my head feel really, really good. It makes it look really, really good. And I use it for my beard too. I had another video about it. But yeah, I use African shea butter. Get it in nice and loose. Now this stuff is good if you do get bumps or you're afraid of getting bumps. This is going to, I promise you, help prevent that. It's going to make your head feel a lot better. It's going to soothe it. I like, this is my favorite part of shaving, because you get to feel how good of a shave you got, and you can even notice, you can see my hand reflection on my head. So even though it looked like it's hair there, I promise you ain't no hair there. Like, it's not. Good shave. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave in the description below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.